This video I'm going to speak about extreme cheapskates. There's this TV series that I found out about from Netflix. It's called Extreme Cheapskates. And basically it's about people that just go over, they're an extreme. You know, you got people that are materialistic here, and then you got extreme cheapskates here. And the word frugal for me is in the middle, but extreme cheapskates is here, and then you got the very materialistic people here. So the extreme cheapskates, as what they're presenting it, are people that just do some crazy stuff to save money. There's a woman in the series that would piss in a bottle by her toilet. She would piss in there so she wouldn't have to flush the toilet to save money on the water. So what she'd do, she'd piss in the bottle, and then she'll pour the urine on her compost. There'd be a guy that would buy the toilet paper and just peel the toilet paper and the double ply, peel it into a single ply so that he could get more out of it. The people would be reusing their paper towels, hanging it up so they could use it again. There'd be a guy in there that would literally take people's foods in the restaurant, their leftovers. He would go up to the people that are eating and be like, "Are you gonna finish that?" And then they say no, and then he takes it. He packs it for himself, takes it home. There's people in there that go dumpster diving for food. Alright, so those are just some examples. I mean, there's a lot more, people that are just a guy in there that just spends all day riding his bike looking for change. And then he'll stop by the laundromat and look for change in there. He'll go by, in couches in restaurants and look for change in there. So they just spend all day looking for change. And a lot of these people, they're not poor. I mean, one of them is a millionaire, and some of these people, they're well off. They got big homes, they got nice cars, but then they do stuff like this. There's somebody in there that just they don't ever buy furniture. They always get it from the dumpster. They get furniture from the dumpster all the time. There's people in there, they live in an extreme way of cutting costs. Oh yeah, there's a guy in there that he would go to a movie theater and he would pick the garbage and find a popcorn bag and a soda, what do you call it? He'll find a soda cup, and then he'd go in the bathroom, clean out the cup, and then go up to the guy and get a free refill for the drink and for the popcorns because he didn't want to pay for it. And then one of the guys also went up to an ice cream stand and just basically kept asking for free samples, and then just didn't even buy anything after he got all the free samples. So it's just this is an extreme, and that's not what I promote to the people. I promote people to be frugal, but I don't promote people to be what these people are trying to represent, which is just extreme level of it's almost it's greediness in another form. It's instead of being greedy to work a lot for money, or greedy and trying to get the best deal during the Black Friday or Christmas. They're being greedy in a different way. It's just overly conscious about saving is another form of greediness that's very ugly. So I mean, it gets expressed in different ways. I mean, when you always want to buy stuff, that's ugly. When that's all you care about is what you buy, and just basically constantly overvaluing products. But when you are the other way and you're overvaluing saving money, that in itself is like ugly as well. And these people, they don't have a balance. It's to the point where it's very, it's not just embarrassing for the people, but it's just like they overdo it to the point where it becomes a very, very ugly part of their being. It's like somebody, and I've run into people like this, somebody who will constantly take things for free. Like, say you go out to eat with them 100 times and you pay every single time, and then one time you want them to pay, and then they won't have nothing to do with that. Like, they just want to stop being friends with you right there, or they label you as an evil person because you're trying to get them to pay one time. I know there's people out there like that, and these are the type of people out there that are like that. They constantly take everything for free, and they don't ever want to give back at all. And it's a very ugly thing, and there's somebody that's, for example, you spent like 8 hours looking for change. It's like, why not just get a job? If you want money so much, my question to these people is, then why not just get another job and work more? Like, if these people are so concerned about saving money, then why not just work for 16 hours a day or 20 hours a day and just work and make money, and that's all you do? You never spend money because you're always working to make money. Like, why would you spend 8 hours looking for change when you can just spend 8 hours making some money at another job? That's the thing that I don't understand. And some of these people are so cheap. Like, there's this woman that claims herself as a cheapskate, but then she has 10 kids. That doesn't make sense to me, because to support a child takes a lot of money. And if you're so cheap, then why you have all these kids? And another thing is, like, one of these big cheapskates is like doing all this thing to cut costs, but then he's driving a car. It's like, if you're so cheap, then why are you driving a car? Because having a car in itself is extremely expensive. And there's another guy who's very cheap and he rides a bike, but at the same time, why do you even ride a bike? Because the bike costs money as well. You can just walk everywhere. And another thing is, the same person has like a nice big home. Like, if you're so damn cheap, then why you have that big home? And another thing is, if you're so cheap, then why even eat? Or even eat as much as you do? Because some of these people they're eating a lot of food. So if you're so cheap, then why are you eating so much food? And a lot of these people had a significant other. Another thing is, if you're so cheap, then why are you married? Why are you with somebody in an intimate way? Because being in intimacy with another person is about sharing. And if you're so conscious about sharing, then you might as well not even be in a relationship. No matter if it's with another person intimately, or with a child, or having a child, it's about sharing. And if you can't share because you're just too damn cheap to share, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. You shouldn't have children. Because these people are just all about just saving money. If it's all about saving money, then why even exist? Because just to exist already costs a lot of money. It already, it's already spending money just breathing. These people are in an imbalance. And these people, some of them, this guy's bragging about how much money he has in his accounts and stuff. It's like, why, you have all this money in your bank, and you don't use any of it. What the hell's the point? You're just watching the numbers grow, whatever the case. You know what I mean? We're all gonna die eventually, and when you don't let the money flow within the economy, it severely damages the economy. You know, and this one guy, you know, he just had like 14 samples of ice cream and didn't even buy the ice cream, and he just leaves. It's like he didn't even care about the person that owns the business. He doesn't even care if the person goes out of business. He just wants to take anything he wants for free. That, you know, these people, they're like thieves. You know, they're thieves, you know what I mean? And they're not good people. You know what I mean? These people, when you're overly conscious about money, you could end up turning into a criminal. Whereas like you have $10,000 in your pocket, but you don't want to spend it. So you go into a shop and you don't want to buy the pair of shoes that cost $100 because then you're gonna have less money. So what do? You steal it. That's the ultimate way to save money, is to steal. Take and not give back. And that's essentially what a lot of these people are doing. They're taking and not giving back. And this is not something that we should be promoting and encouraging for people to do. And this is another thing that some of these people are doing that are just very wrong in my eyes. Is, these people would dumpster dive for food, like get like these find like rice and meat and salads in the garbage can, and then they would take that food home and then actually serve it to their guests without even notifying the guests that it came from the garbage. Now, if you want to sacrifice your own health to eat that food in the garbage, okay, fine. But I see it very wrong for somebody to put somebody else's health at risk because they themselves are very, like, cheap and they don't want to give. And another thing is, if you're so cheap and you don't want to give so much, then why do you even invite people over to become your guests? You shouldn't even invite anybody over. And another segment, there's this couple that wanted to have like a wedding party or an engagement party, but they couldn't afford it. Well, if you're so damn cheap, then why even have a freaking engagement party to begin with? You know, and these people are trying to like find like a cheap way to give a gift, and it's like, if you don't have the money, or if you're too cheap to buy a gift, then why even give a gift? You know, there's just like a lot of things where these people, their minds are just it's deranged, and that is an ugly way, a very ugly way of living in my eyes. It's corrupting the way. The way, you know, obviously is not like being somebody that's very unappreciative and just like, you know, you buy like a $50 meal and then you just eat just a little bit of it and you throw it away in the garbage. No, that's not the way either. Or just buying a bunch of stuff and just throwing it in the garbage and you don't care about it. Or just like buying a bunch of clothes and you never even wear the clothes. Or just keep flushing the toilet when you're not even using it. Or taking like 2-hour bath, like a 2-hour shower, wasting all this water. That's not good. Or just like turning on the water, just letting it run for no reason. That's not good. That's not the way either. But these other people and what they're doing is not the way. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, if you're gonna be so cheap, then you should only be affecting yourself, not affecting other people. So meaning you should not be stealing other people's stuff. That's being a thief, and that's, you belong in jail, right? You should not be feeding like poisonous food to other people because you're too damn cheap to pay for like fresh food. you know, that should be a crime in itself, you know, basically feeding people poison, you know, and you should not be exploiting to the public that, oh, you know, this is how cheap I am. I mean, this is something they should keep within yourself, and if you want to be cheap for yourself, then hey, you know, go ahead, but it's almost, not almost, but it's an embarrassment for people to go beyond a certain point where you might as well just be homeless. You might as well just be homeless. You know what I mean? Because that's the real way to save the most money, right? I mean, just living in a home and having lights is already, you're spending money. Using the water is already spending money. Having a shelter is already spending money. You know what I mean? Eating a lot of food is already spending too much money. You know, watching television. Some of these people, a lot of these people are using laptops. If you're so damn cheap, then why do you have a laptop? You know what I mean? That's already using electricity. You already had to buy the laptop. I mean, these people, they should more so be ashamed of themselves more than anything. I mean, it should not be something that's exploited where you seem like, oh, you know, try to get a big ego over, oh, I'm a cheapskate. It's more like, it's like trying to be like bragging about something stupid. Like, say you're bragging about like that you like to masturbate, you know, 16 hours a day or something like that, or 20 hours a day. It's nothing to be bragging about. I mean, keep this information to yourself. Or just bragging it to people that I like to piss in a bottle to save money so I don't have to flush the toilet. I mean, if you want to do that, I mean, you could keep that information to yourself. You know, or just basically, if you're so damn cheap, then why even take showers at all? I mean, this person was like so much about saving money on like the bar soap and just using like every little piece of it. Well, if you're so cheap, then why even use bar soap at all? You might as well just not even use bar soap. You might as well not even take a shower because you're so damn cheap. I mean, it's really, if you're so concerned about not spending money, the best thing to do is just kill yourself. You know, commit suicide, because then just living day to day, you're spending money. You know, and I don't agree with a lot of the things these people, their approach. You know, I mean, if you want to save some money here and there, okay, but there's a certain point where when you're trying to push this onto other people, or when you're affecting other people's lives, it's a very ugly thing to be around somebody that's so stingy. It's like you're constantly giving to them and then they never give anything back. Like, who wants to be around people like that? No, like literally you paid for 100 of their meals. You wine and dine them 100 times, and then they don't even want to pay for your meal, not even just once. I mean, there's something wrong with these people up here, and this type of behavior should not be encouraged. And people need to learn to share, and they need to know where the limit is, as far as like when you are being too stingy, you know, or too much of a cheap ass, to the point where it's like there's something wrong with you, you need to change. You know what I mean? It's just the other extreme. You know, it's just the other extreme of somebody that just waste a bunch of food, you know, waste a bunch of everything. And then somebody that's just on the opposite of just like a total minimalist, you know what I mean? Where it's really setting up a poor example for the society. You know what I mean? This one guy was so cheap, but then he wanted to find a date online, and he finds a woman to date online, and then he meets up at this place to eat with her, and then he didn't even want to buy her a meal. Then why are you searching for dates if you don't even want to buy this person a meal? And then he's like constantly trying to get the woman to order something that's not expensive, or to not eat a lot, and he's hoping that she would have ate already before. I mean, it's just like, then why even search for a partner if you're not even willing to share anything with her? I mean, there's something psychologically damaging to this person. This person's psychologically damaged already, severely, you know what I mean? You'd be better off moving off into the mountains or the woods on your own and just not dealing with other people. Because when you're dealing with other people, you don't want to share with them because you're so stingy. And then when you do deal with other people, you just keep wanting to take from all of them. You just want to take everything from everybody around you. You don't want to give anything back. And I very much disagree with that. You know, these people are just better off not even living if you're so if you're so stingy that you never want to share with people. You know, that's the way that I see it. You know what I mean? There's gotta be there's overdoing it. You know, and you need to figure that out. You know, and if there's little things that you like to do to save money, that's great. You know, but it shouldn't be like negatively affecting others. You know, for example, like, hey, you know, some of these people would find roadkill and then eat the food. You know, cook that up and eat it. Okay, that's great. That's fine. That's better than somebody who's hunting, killing, and then throwing it. Not just killing just to kill. They're not even using the animal for food. They're just killing just because they enjoy killing. That's horrible. But somebody sees roadkill, they want to make use of it. That's great. But what I see to be a problem, you know, it's just like taking advantage of other people or businesses. You know, just like, you know, like that guy for the ice cream thing, for example. You know, just taking all this ice cream samples and just not giving anything back. No money, no nothing. Or just like taking the popcorn and then the soda, getting a refill, didn't even pay for any of it. He just like deceived them to get free stuff. You know, or just being in a restaurant and putting pressure onto other people to give you their leftovers. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It's messed up. You know what I mean? Or getting food from a dumpster and feeding your guests with that food. Why the hell would you feed your guests food from the dumpster? I mean, if you want to eat the food yourself from the dumpster, okay, but don't feed your guests food that could be contaminated or poisoned. You know, it's just like things like that. It's just, I mean, if you want to say you're too cheap and you just don't want to clean your home, you don't want to buy a vacuum cleaner, and you don't want to flush the toilet, you just leave the toilet full of urine and poop, and you never flush, and you live in a pigsty. Okay, that's your decision, but don't invite people to come over to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have people come over to your place. Just keep that stuff private for yourself. You know, just people that are just so cheap, they don't wanna wash their clothes because they stink all day, or they don't want to take showers because they're too cheap. I mean, people aren't gonna really want to be around you when you stink, and you're too cheap to brush your teeth because you don't want to buy toothpaste, and you don't want to buy a toothbrush, so your mouth stinks all day. You have this extreme body odor because you haven't took a shower for like over 10 years. People aren't gonna want to be around you. You're so cheap to take care of your hygiene. You're too cheap to get your hair cut. You're too cheap to have clean clothes. You're too cheap to take a shower. You're too cheap to do anything. You might as well just not live. You know, I feel that hygiene is extremely important, and just there's certain things that you just don't. I mean, there's a limit to saving money. You know, and I feel that, you know, another thing, as I stated, if they're so concerned about saving money, you might as well just work all day. You know, work 20 hours a day and sleep for 3 hours a day. Just work. That's all you do is work. So you're always just making money. You don't even have time to spend money because you're just so busy making money. I would respect that more than what some of these people are doing, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Why would you ride your bike around for 8 hours looking for change? So, I don't promote that. I don't promote people to be cheapskates. But at the same time, I don't promote people to be unappreciative and just wasting things. I promote people to be frugal with their money.